And Johnny, let's move on into our second topic, and we're taking a look at the Sonic the Hedgehog. We got our first trailer. So not only did we get our first trailer this week, we've also got our first redaction to the trailer. And Paramount is saying, well, the director of Sonic has said that they're going to go back and hit the drawing board and redesign Sonic before this. So here's how we're going to kind of space this segment out. Is first we're going to talk about what we thought about the trailer. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to dive into the redesign of will Paramount get it right the second time and not fail the fans. Before I do so, I want to read through some of the harshness on Twitter, which apparently the first one is that Sonic's teeth have always been horrifying to people, and nobody knows why he actually has real like human teeth in his mouth when he meow. Another one that I found funny was Sonic the Hedgehog the movie. What if we were back in the 90s, but also simultaneously in hell? There's another one that made me laugh is because, so you've seen the original Jumanji, right? Mm-hmm. Remember when the kid turns into the monkey? Yeah. Well, they took basically his nose and his mouth area, kept it the same color. Everything else is blue. And that's Sonic the Hedgehog for you, which is the little black on the nose. People making fun of Eggman. I'll get to that in a second. Somebody basically took like the really creepy live action fox that I've seen on the internet and said live action Tails the fox, because we might see that. There's a ton of also just like the Sonic pop with the eye kind of like dripping down next to the original original design of Sonic. Like, hey, the popsicle, or who did it better, retweet for popsicle, like for movie, because the popsicles were also very horrible. But the first thing I'll ask you, John, is when you saw the trailer, what was your thought?
You know what, it looks overall good. It just gave me a little reminder of like the Smurf movie, which weren't bad movies, but it's like, okay.
You're talking about the ones with Neil Patrick Harris?
Yes.
Yeah.
They weren't bad movies. It's just like, okay, that one, but hopefully you don't get a lot of the storyline. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it's like, okay, this is going to be a little bit more towards like the adults that would get who Sonic is. Yeah. But I do have to say, so far, Jim Carrey is carrying it to me.
It's like Dave said, he watched a YouTuber called Video Game Donkey, and he made the comment of like, I don't know what they have against Jim Carrey.
I don't
what
either.
Video they have that they haven't leaked, but it's like they have him to where it's like, did you do something bad and you just don't want people to find out? Is that why you're doing this movie, Jim?
Right? It's been a little while since he's actually done a movie, a few years, but
Jim Carrey was classic Jim Carrey.
Yes.
In this. And I love how at the end of it, based off of all the criticism they got after throwing out the just first image of what Jim Carrey will look like, everyone's like, that's not Robotnik. That looks nothing like Robotnik. And at the end of the trailer, they're like, whoa, wait a second. He will be full
Robotnik at some part in the movie, because he's got, at the very end,
he's got an entire arc.
Yeah. So, I mean, because you got the bald, then you got the goggles, and you got the full-on mustache, whereas right now he's got hair, a little bit of hair. He's just got glasses, and he's got this handlebar mustache. Fine. Give it to me. I want to see how he becomes Robotnik.
Do you think they threw that in at the very end because of that criticism?
No, I thought that was in the trailer in the first place.
No, I'm saying like they edited
like peer
the trailer
review?
And then they said, you know what? Let's throw this at the very end, because when we put out that image the day before, people were bashing that Jim Carrey didn't look like Robotnik.
Yeah, that could be why they threw it at the very end, like him like tinkering with something or whatever it was that he was doing.
It's kind of like the trailer was shortened out. Yeah. And like the image went zzz, zzz, and then it showed him
as Robotnik,
putting the goggles on, being full blown Robotnik. No,
to me that's fine. Give me like the storyline how he becomes Robotnik.
The only other criticism that I've really I don't know where to be on this because I could go either way, is the music for the trailer. Where I will admit, the one thing that I expected to hear with the Sonic trailer was the Bum 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 ba ba da dun 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 dun, like the classic Sonic theme. There were a lot of people bashing Gangster's Paradise. I will be completely honest. When that song hit and Sonic was standing there, the design of Sonic, I'm leaving for itself. I'll get into that.
We'll get a different part of the topic.
But like when he's standing there, he's stretching. I'm like, oh man, shit's about to go down. Like I was hyped, Johnny. Like me as a diehard Sonic fan, I was hyped. Did it look perfect? No. But I was hyped for this, especially the freaking just and I know that's all from Gangster's Paradise because I'm not good at Gangster's Paradise. But when that hit, been spending most of life, and I'm like, give me it. And he's just like, gotta go fast.
Faster.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with Gangster's Paradise.
No,
I know some people did. Dave,
I'm sorry.
Dave, I'm looking at you because Dave had a problem with Gangster's Paradise.
I'm sorry. For one, you're not going to get the Sonic theme.
I would have loved it
in the trailer, if you ask me. So we'll save it for the movie.
You gotta save something for the movie.
Exactly. So I want to see you save that for the movie. So it's like, oh shit, we finally get to hear. So I'm like giddy in the middle of the movie, like shit's the Sonic theme.
I will say, though,
I'd rather have that than, cool, we used it up in the trailer already.
I will say, though, the freaking sound effects, especially when he was like in ball form, sounded exactly like the Sega game.
Yes.
I also love the every hero has his Genesis. A little throw out there to Sega.
Yeah.
But like there were good things in here, and I think the comedy of Ben Schwartz and I'm blanking on the other main actor's name. Let's see, Sonic, IMD Bizzle. Because Ben Schwartz is playing Sonic, and then you have James Marsden is playing the San Francisco Police Department guy.
Yeah.
And who's Tom Wachowski or Wachowski in the movie. I think their chemistry is going to be great. I love the scene where it was like, do you have your child in the bag? Well, it's a child. It's not my child. And just Sonic goes, smells like body spray and ham sandwiches in here. I can't breathe. Like that stuff is gonna
quiet.
That stuff is gonna be funny. The one thing I want to ask you. Meow.
Like it was great until like the Sonic we saw.
Yeah. Last thing I want to ask you about the actual trailer is other thing I really liked is when he was standing there watching his watch, the foot tap. I was like, oh, that's classic Sonic. That the Sonic leave him to the side. That was just classic Sonic with the foot tap. I took 9,000 steps today, or 9 million steps today, and then he did all the thing with the rockets. The last question I'm going to ask you before we get into the actual design of Sonic, what was your thought of the rings? Basically the one where, hey, I'm going to throw this ring, and it's going to get really big so you fall through the ring.
It's like a portal.
Basically. Like, are you okay with that liberty? Are you not? Because I saw on the internet a lot of people were like, rings don't work that way.
I'll take that liberty because I want to see where it goes in the movie. If it's not like a huge cop-out, then
I mean, it looks like he's just using it to save him.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously rings would have different properties in our universe than his.
Yeah, we don't know what they're supposed to do. Screw it. Go for it.
The thing I can't wait for, though, is like I told Dave, there's going to be a post-credit. Like, we might see Tails in this.
Yeah.
But a post-credit scene at the least. We'll either see Tails, or if we see Tails in the movie, we could probably see a Knuckles
I would say make it Knuckles, because I hear a lot of people saying Shadow. It's like, I feel like this is too quick to introduce Shadow.
Speaking of Shadow, the thing, before we recorded the podcast, I asked you, do you want me to leave this as a on the podcast surprise or tell you before we recorded? Do you want to know who has voiced his opinion that he wants to play Shadow in either this movie or a Sonic sequel.
Who?
Tommy Wiseau. The director of The Room. Do you don't know what The Room is?
No.
The Room is like that very bad movie. You remember there was a James Franco movie making fun of it, where the guy who's like, line.
The guy with that like long hair and weird accent.
Yes. Wants to play Sonic the Hedgehog.
That guy?
Yeah. Has voiced his opinion for playing Sonic or Shadow the Hedgehog.
No, thank you.
In a future movie.
No thanks.
I saw that and I was like, this has got to be a joke.
I hope it's a joke.
It was serious. He was like, hey, I'd be up to playing it.
Sure.
And I was like, please, no.
Yeah, go ahead and audition, see if you actually get it.
Paramount might be stupid enough to hire him if you saw that Sonic.
Don't.
Now to get into the real badness
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah, the real badness. What the hell did Sonic look like, man? Like, come on.
That was bad.
Like, that's the one thing where I'm like, come on. You didn't even make him look like Sonic at all. I would actually throw this out there. That redesign makes Ben Schwartz look bad when it shouldn't, because he wasn't the problem. The redesign was.
Exactly.
Like, the thing that I even look at now that I'm looking at like the thing that you sent me where an artist redid the Sonic look. First off, I'm noticing now seeing them a little bit too tall. His legs look like an actual like child's legs when they should just be like
stick thin.
Thinner stick. And his look shouldn't be so like he's got kind of a like Sonic has a little bit of a in the game, a little bit of a resting bitch face, I will say.
Well, not just that.
Because he looks mean when he's not.
That's the thing they should have not fucked around with. They should have kept his body shape the same, not like kind of elongate it and make it, this should look more humanistic.
Yeah.
They changed his eyes. They made him way too small. Even if they had them like separated, they should have made him as big as they are.
Yeah.
And the other thing was like you said, the legs, like don't, and also like kind of because of proportions, his head looks more bulbous now, like it's supposed to.
Well, his head's supposed to be bigger than his body.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Bigger than his body. You're right. You're right. Shit, you're right.
The head's supposed to be bigger. The ears are supposed to be bigger. Because it's like he's not a human.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of was like they almost tried to make him like, hey, what if we made a dog that looks like a hedgehog and then made it stand on its hind legs?
We're gonna crossbreed a hedgehog and a 5-year-old.
Basically.
They mashed him up. It's like
basically.
It's a 5-year. It's like a
5-year-old Halloween costume.
Exactly,
You're
it's
right.
a 5-year-old Halloween costume.
No, you're
in the first.
You're
one.
110% correct. And the thing I want to ask you is, are they going to get it right the second time? Because according to Variety, well, actually according to Twitter, but I'm getting this from Variety's article, Jeff Fowler, who's the director of this movie, said, "Thank you for the support and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be." And then Sonic co-creator came out thanking the fans for their outburst because it actually got them to change it. And the thing that I'm thinking with that is, yeah, Sega wants it to be the best because it's their character.
Exactly.
Like, Paramount just wants to make money. Let's be honest. I'm not talking about the director and that. I'm talking about the actual company. They just want to make money off of this movie. And the thing I'm going to ask you is, are they going to get it right the second time? Or because of the expectations that are already set that you fucked up once, is this just going to be like really? You can't even get it right the second time?
I'm hoping they fix it and just like, hey, you know what? We see this fan art online and fix it. Because if not, if they basically make him not much different than this Sonic, this is the only after credit scene I want.
Oh, you want the Ugandan Knuckles. Yeah.
If they're going to give me this type of Sonic and not like the redesign that you see online right now from all the fans, That's the only thing I want is this Ugandan Knuckles.
Well, and then there's another one. This is from
for my
John,
after credit scene.
This is
Do
from
you know
John,
the way, my brother?
Yeah, John Reisner basically said, I get why everyone is freaking out about how Sonic looks in the trailer. It's because his teeth are not accurate to the real hedgehog.
Yeah, that's the only.
I fixed it. You're welcome. And I'm like, that's not the only thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing we care about.
That's not the only thing. Here's the thing that I saw that I want to ask you if you think, this is us speculating, naturally, but I read a comment on Twitter when I was going through the thread, and it basically said that the tweeter believes that don't blame the actual designers of the Sonic character, blame the company, blame the higher-ups, because what they're assuming happened is that the people who are animated it, who are designing Sonic for this movie, were probably like, hey, this is not right. We need to redesign this. The higher-ups were probably like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Because, like,
work on other shit.
Here's the thing. They have... What I usually think happens is they have someone kind of like, hey, these are some of the designs for this character. We'll say Sonic specifically.
Yeah.
They hand it to the execs or whoever is in charge of that, producers.
Just okay it.
Yeah, okay. Which one do you want to go with? This one. And he got someone probably going, maybe we should do... No, we want this one.
Maybe we should do this one, not this one. It's like, no.
We want this one.
Will be best. And like the commenter's like, well, I've got friends in the business and this has happened on other movies. So I know this is speculation, but do you think the percentages of maybe that happened with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
I think that's what happened.
Was it a higher up problem? And then now the actual like animators and designers have to now work overtime, because here's the other question that I think. You're redesigning this character. Redesigning this character is not like it's done, because you got to redesign everything. Then based off, let's say you change the mouth a little bit, getting that mouth to line up with Ben Schwartz. What if you have to come in and re-record some of Ben's lines facial, because you've got to get it to match with the mouth?
Exactly.
Is this movie still going to release November 10th?
Hopefully, if they're like that, they're just in post-production now and doing all like the computer animation and stuff and all the other stuff is, hopefully they can. They're going to have to be working a little bit of overtime now to do so, but I think it can come out.
Right now, they're in post-production.
Which means everything's filmed. They just have to like, hey, come in for reshoots, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they may have to also pay Ben Schwartz more now to come in again. So it's like, hey...
Could you see this delaying the release, or is it not enough to do that?
I don't think it's enough to do that. I mean, redesigning a still has to be vastly different from redesigning.
But for the main character who's in the entire film,
it might take them more time. I think they're going to push to have it out at the right date, though. Yeah, well, they have to have it out at a certain date so they can get it to theaters on time for exactly. So
they'll have to have it for the early premiere. But then they have to have it by a certain date so they can get it to all the theaters in time for the release of the movie. Do you think they're going to get it right? Do you think it's going to be, the last thing we'll kind of say is, do you think it's going to be something where we look at it and go, yes, you got it right, thank you, we complained? Or is it going to be well, I've got no hope for this movie?
Well, hopefully... when they do the redesign, they, like I said, they follow a lot. I get it. They're stills, and it's different than doing an animated. But the fans have shown you what would make sense. And it's like, hey, you've
already had people redesign.
It's like, hey, they're not huge alterations either. Like, you still have the character, and you can actually make him just a little bit taller to fit. However, but it's like, yeah, you have to redo the eyes. Head needs to be a little bit bigger. Fix the body and make the paws bigger. There's a few parts of the body that aren't that changed that drastically.
You know what? And I didn't get this until I looked at I'm looking at the still of them in the truck before Eggman shoots the thing right through it. The thing I didn't notice, they made him too cute. They tried to make Sonic too cute. That's what they tried to do. to where he's not cute. He's kind of got that
Creepy.
edge to him. Well, I wouldn't say creepy. Like, let's not
The
be
first
mean
one?
to no, I'm talking about the actual design of Sonic.
Okay.
The
actual redesign?
No, like the actual video game design of
Oh,
Sonic.
yeah,
Like his
yeah.
original,
Sorry.
what he should look like.
Semi-cute but edgy, right?
Well, he's got kind of, it's not really edgy. It's just like he's got almost like a straight face and kind of like a, like I said, maybe a resting bitch face almost.
Yeah.
It's like he's not he's not supposed to be cute. He's a badass. That's what Sonic is. And even like, I'm going to pull up really quick let's see, Sonic cartoon, because that was the one that we grew up on.
True.
Like, yeah, that one was probably the cutest rendition of Sonic the Hedgehog. And it was like...
But that's when you can actually start playing attitude into it.
Yeah, but he still looks like Sonic. That's
I know,
the thing.
but
Like,
what I'm saying is like, hey, yeah, you made him look a little cuter now, but you can still play the attitude into it that he's kind of a badass.
yeah, what I would say... Here's what I would say. If I was because now I'm going to pull up the other image of him standing there so I can see it. Yeah. Here's another thing I could see. So you make the ears a little bit bigger. You obviously make the eyes bigger because the eyes have to be bigger.
Yeah.
Here's another thing I'm going to throw out there because I'll flip this around and show you. Look at his arms.
Yeah.
What would you be mad if they said, hey, instead of making his arms blue, we're going to do it like the cartoon and make his arms
Tan.
So then he has the gloves on.
I wouldn't be mad about that, but I kind of like it.
You like the blue arms?
I like the blue arm with the white paw just to like bring it to that sort of like a little bit realistic.
Put him in the real world.
Yeah. Instead of like, hey, Mickey Mouse gloves. Solves the issue of hands.
Because all freaking cartoons have
Gloves.
Oh,
Well, that's the reason they do gloves, is so that you don't have to like
actually
have to know how to draw a hand.
Wow. you know what? I'm looking at, even in the video game, he had
Blue arms, right?
no, he had
Gloves?
tan arms.
Tan arms?
Yeah, he had tan arms. So like, to me, right away, why would you make like that? To me is just, why would you make his arm blue if in cartoons, video games, he has tan arms? Yeah, in the evolution of Sonic video that I pulled up, every single one he's got tan
arms.
So like for me, I would almost do that. I would change the arms, make the eyes bigger, the ears a little bit bigger, and really accentuate the kind of hedgehog hair that he's got, because that is iconic Sonic. Like the hedgehog hair is, let me see if I can get a still here. Like, see, this is the Sega game, and you can kind of see the arm here.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
He's got a tan arm.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where, and make the legs thinner, obviously. But I'll ask you, what's your optimism that they're going to get it super right the next time?
Like I said, I'm on the fence right now because like they still have to deal with the execs and everything. That's like, hey, yeah, I want to. We really think we should do this one. Yeah, but we like this part of this design. I want you to fix it that way.
Yeah,
it's like
I hope that the higher ups stuck their hand in the cookie jar. They get it slapped away this time. Like, hey, we know what fucking works.
This is what the fans want. Did you not see all the backlash?
You got your say. They hated it. Let us get our say.
Yeah. Those computer design people, probably the people that played the games over the years.
Exactly. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to say with this one. I hope they get it right.
I hope just follow the fan art online. Follow the fan art.
That was the last thing I was going to say. You know what even makes the designer's job even more stressful now? Let's say they were going to throw a surprise and have Tails or Knuckles or Shadow in this.
Yeah.
They now probably have to redesign them too, because they probably made it the same as Sonic.
Yeah.
So now they probably have to, if they had more than just Sonic in there, they have to redesign it so that they all look the same. But any final thoughts before I close this one up?
Yeah, I just hope they fix it and follow, like I said, follow the fan art. And the one thing I have to say is, you know what? I get it. He had tan arms and all the other stuff. But with rendering and now, I wouldn't be mad if they just kept it blue like they have it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if they didn't. But part of me is like, I kind of want to see. I want to kind of see what it would look like with tan arms.
Yeah.
With the tan arms and the blue cut off.
See if they have it online somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
That's all I can say right now.
But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What were your thoughts on the trailer? Do you think they'll get it right the second time? What are you thinking when it comes to the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? I want this to be a good movie.
I do too.
Diehard Sonic fan, loved playing it on. Like, Sega was my jam, bro. Like, Sega was my first OG system. And it was basically like, you know how we got PlayStation and Xbox now?
Yeah.
I had both a Sega and a original NES. Because, like, my parents had the NES. That was kind of like their system that I kind of also played.
Yeah.
But, like, the Genesis came out, and that was like, fucking A, I want this.
I had an NES, and that was it.
That was my jam. Like, I was a Sega guy. I was also, before I had a Game Boy, I had a Sega Game Gear.
Oh, shit.
The big, bulky Sega Game Gear that had the ridiculously big case. Yeah, I had that as well. So I was a Game Gear guy. The only Sega system that I didn't have was the Sega Saturn. That was the one that first used CDs. But then after that, I got the Sega Dreamcast. Probably one of the best systems I've ever played in my life. So let us know what you guys think down below in that comment section.